The defender is tight. What do you think he should do here? He could easily cut back and reset. He could easily try to find the safe option. You as a winger, whenever you are entering these zones, what's going on YouTube? So today we are going to cover the winger position. In this video, you're going to learn everything you need to know about what you should be doing as a winger. Movement in possession, movement out of possession, and any other moments that you need to be aware of as a winger. So first things first, we're going to look at this picture on my screen here. As a winger in the attacking phase, you are primarily going to be in these areas. These zones, you're going to be entering the attacking third to create an opportunity. Your objective as a winger is to create goal scoring opportunities. Keyword, create, create, create. So anytime you are entering this area right here, there are 5 different things that you can do as a winger. Number 1, you can dribble at your defender, beat them one-on-one to put in a cross. Number 2, you could dribble at your defender, cut inside and shoot. Number 3, you can dribble at your defender, cut inside and combine. Number 4, you can dribble down the line, whip in a cross, and win a corner kick. And number 5, you can dribble, take the defender on, and win a free kick. So those are 5 ways that you can create attacking moments for your team in the attacking third. During the defensive phase, when you are out of possession, when your team does not have the ball, you as a winger are that first player that can initiate the press depending on what type of pressing style your team is doing. So typically, if the ball goes to your center back and the striker presses, your objective as a winger is to stay tight on the fullback. There might be another pressing trigger for your team, whereas the center back plays to the fullback and you are that first player to initiate that press. Everybody else should follow. But anytime that this does happen, you as a winger, typically as a general rule of thumb, you want to try and cut off the passing lane inside. Force the player to go down the line. Why? Because this is where we have the most dangerous zones inside the middle. And if the ball's able to get into the midfield and their number 8, like in this picture right here, is able to turn and penetrate through the middle of the pitch, that is a dangerous situation for us, and we're trying to eliminate those moments. Let's take a look at some moments that you may encounter as a winger. The first clip that I'm going to show you, we are going to focus on this player right here. This player is playing inside in the half space as a winger, allowing for his fullback, which is here, to stay out wide and take care of that wide area. So a lot of times you as wingers, sometimes you may be tasked to play outside, sometimes you may be tasked to stay inside. Here, this team is making sure that this player stays inside. Let's see what happens. As their center back is progressing with the ball, this winger pushes up, still in that half space, still trying to be an option inside, whereas they're not trying to stay out wide. Now this is something specific to this club. Okay, this is something specific to this team. This doesn't mean that you as a winger always need to go inside. But I want you to notice how he is just standing there. He's literally just standing there waiting for play to move, waiting to play to circulate, being an option inside. But what this does is 2 things. 1, we're attracting the fullback inside and we're forcing that fullback to make a decision. 2, we are giving open space to our fullback. Now this will primarily happen when you have an overlapping fullback on your team. This is something that will primarily happen when you guys are rehearsing this in training. You as a winger staying inside the half space to create space for yourself and also for your fullback. Let's take a look at the next clip. Here's a moment out of possession. The ball does go to the fullback in this moment from the keeper, and right away the first player to initiate that press is the winger. Look what happens next. Immediate press, immediate press. His teammates are also coming to help out. We have 1, 2, 3 coming to help out. Press. Now the red team does an excellent job of getting out of here. The winger stopped following this player and they were able to get out of that initial press. But the primary thing is, in this first clip, I want you to notice that you as a winger, majority of the times, if the ball's on the opposite side, you will probably be tucking in, using that line as a reference. And when you tuck in and use that line as a reference, once the ball does go out, you are that immediate pressure. Now this could happen anywhere else on the pitch. It could happen further up, it could happen wider, it could happen maybe around here. Let's say you're here and then you press the fullback here. It could happen in various areas of the pitch, but you're always going to be that player forcing them to make an error. Here's another moment. Deep in their half, watch how the fullback gets on the ball. Immediately that winger is trying to make themselves available. This movement is crucial because a lot of times what I've noticed is I've seen wingers that stay up here and just wait and wait, and the timing of their movement is super late. By the time that their fullback is looking for an option, you're no longer an option because your movement is too late. So you as a winger, what you need to be doing is look out for body cues. In this particular moment, their fullback is looking directly to the winger, looking for an option. Now this fullback could have played it over the top. This fullback could have found this space in here, but maybe they wanted to keep possession. So what happens here, winger gets on the ball, takes a touch inside, keeps possession. Now they try to go out the other way. But you can only do that if you make yourself available, if you make that small, little tiny movement. In this next clip, we are going to focus on this winger. This winger is not starting inside. Number 11 on the red team is starting a little bit wider. But notice that the run that he makes as the ball plays around, back centrally, that is his cue. He notices that his midfielder has space. He now wants to make this movement inside on the blind side of that fullback. Boom. And now he's trying to exploit this space. But these runs that you can make as a winger, starting from out here, are super dangerous, especially if you have a teammate in the middle of the pitch that is more than capable of whipping that ball over. Now in this clip, doesn't make the best pass, makes a great run, the winger, complains to his midfielder of why he didn't get that pass. Let's look at this next clip. Focusing on the same winger, number 11. Right here, 1v1 situation. Now, as you guys can see, we are in the final third. We are in a 1v1 situation here. The defender is tight. What do you think he should do here? He could easily cut back and reset. He could easily try to find the safe option. You as a winger, whenever you are entering these zones, these areas, this part of the pitch, this is where you need to show your confidence. Doesn't matter if the defender is tight on you. Doesn't matter if you have space. Your objective, like I said at the beginning of the video, is to create goal scoring opportunities. And the way that you create goal scoring opportunities is by taking advantage of moments like this. This is a 1v1. We have a 1v1 here. And you need to take advantage of that situation. It might not be the cleanest, but once you get by, you can create moments. Just like in this clip right here. Gets by that player, slips this ball through, shot on goal. No goal, but we created a moment. Now the next time we do that, maybe something more dangerous can happen. In this next clip, we can see how this winger is tucking inside, trying to look for that similar run. Midfielder is here with the ball, under pressure, can't make that pass. What happens? We make this short pass. Now, right now, these two players are on the same line. So what do you think this winger should do? This winger now begins to move outwards. Why do they begin to move outwards? Yes, to create an angle. We want to create a proper passing angle. Also, give this player on the ball a little bit of space to progress. So look how they move out. They receive the ball there. Immediately faces up the defender. We are again in the attacking third. Can we create a moment? Can we create an attacking opportunity? This pass seemed kind of forced, but it got through. They got a shot off. Unlucky. These moments, if you are a winger, inverted winger for example, yes, we are not on the pitch. We cannot see what this player sees. From here, this angle looks kind of forced. I think that he could have kept dribbling and maybe made another type of pass, but this almost worked as well. Again, you on the pitch have a different view of what we see from the outside. So if you think something works in that moment, by all means, you need to try it. But that's why it's important to review these videos and review how it looks from the outside, because then you're gonna realize like, maybe that moment wasn't the correct moment to do that. Next clip, I want you to notice that this is opposite of what the yellow team was doing. So we have the fullback and we have the winger. Fullback is inside and the winger is outside. Winger's wide, fullback in the half space. Whereas the yellow team, the winger was in the half space and the fullback was out wide. This is all different depending on the team, depending on how your coach wants to line you up. But you have to always remember this. Depending on what line your fullback is, you are trying to be on the opposite side. Always trying to provide an angle. That little movement that they make, because they're waiting for that possible next action. They make a little body feint in order to force this fullback to react, and then moves back in for a possible pass in here. These little movements are super important for you as a winger, because you make yourself available. You make yourself available in the midfield third. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you know what the midfield third is. In the midfield third, to give your team an option to progress. Because if you do receive in these areas, as a winger, you can take that space inside and look to combine. Look to find another player and look to create something there. Your objective in the midfield third is not necessarily the same as the attacking third, where you're creating goal-scoring moments. You're now creating moments to progress play forward. So you may be a little deeper and your striker may be a little higher, but when you are in these areas, can we look to play forward? Of course, it's not always going to be on. If it's not on, then you reset and you restart. And how you make space and how you create moments for yourself or teammates is by finding these areas of space with your movement. This next clip, winger staying out wide, stays out wide, stays out wide. Ball is on the opposite side. Ball is on the opposite side and this winger has stayed wide. So there will be moments that the ball's on the opposite side, ball's about your other teammate's about to whip in across, and you as a winger want to look to make these late runs. And I'm going to show you here in this moment. The cross isn't the best, okay? But I want you to notice how the winger is on the blind side of this fullback. And there is plenty of space here on the second post. So you have to time your runs on these crosses. Can we attack these spaces? Because a lot of times the ball might get whipped in and it goes across and you're there to meet it. It's not going to be every time, but if you ever find yourself in these situations where you're on the blind side of that fullback and they're not even paying attention to you, they're not even looking where you are, they're more worried about the cross, those are your moments. The second that they turn their head and they're not looking at you anymore, those are your moments to attack the space. Because in a split second, everything can change. And then this last clip that I want to show you, we're going to focus on the opposite side winger. On the left side here. Similar situation where the fullback is on the ball and the fullback has space to progress. So what the winger does now is they made themselves available, but now they're going to get out. They don't need to be an option. Boom, they get out. So as they get out, watch what happens. Did you guys see that? The movement that the striker made to go in the space to possibly get this pass also attracted this defender here, which is going to open up space where? Behind, guys. Yes, so you as a winger, if you find those moments where your striker is making a movement and attracts the center back, attracts the fullback, or attracts somebody else, and there's space that opens up, those are your cues to go, because those are moments that you can create with your runs. By making that run, he's giving his teammate an option to play that ball over the top. Now you might not always get these passes. it might not be on, it might be forced, maybe your center back or your midfielder doesn't see it, or maybe they just mishit it, but you still need to make that movement. Since you made that movement, look what happens. It's a great ball over the top, a great touch. Here is another 1v1 situation. Let me just make this square a little better. Another 1v1 situation. And what should you be doing in these moments? Yes, take them on. Don't hesitate, guys. This is why you train as a winger. If you have these moments, take them on, because this can happen. Dribble down the line, cut inside, shot. Yes, no goal, but did you notice that he created an attacking moment? And that's what you should be doing as a winger whenever you have these particular moments in the attacking third. So just to summarize everything, guys, I want to show you these pictures that will be super important to have as visuals. So you, as that winger, number 11 on the ball, when should you be cutting inside? Whenever you have a teammate that is in these areas and makes that run and opens up space inside, those are your cues. That's when I should cut inside. If I see that movement happening and I see that space open for a split second, that's when I make my cut inside. If it's not on, then we reset. No worries. Here's another moment. When do I make a pass? When should I pass to a teammate? Similar situation, if a teammate makes a run inside and that space in the middle opens up, I can now cut inside and dribble. And in these moments, you might have the shot. You might have an opportunity to whip it in back post. You might have your striker making that diagonal run. That's when you slip them through. There's endless possibilities in these moments. If neither of these options are on, then we can simply just circulate it over, cut, reset, whatever option you think is best in those moments. But these are the moments, as you can see here, where you can create opportunities. So if you can make those decisions to slip the ball through, to get a shot on goal, you're going to be looking good when you are cutting inside. One more thing to be aware of is you want to be able to create and maintain width between you and the fullback. Just like in this picture right here, this is actually from a 9v9 game that I was trying to emphasize maintaining width. A lot of times when you do receive out wide, you create this distance and now you have the opportunity to dribble straight at them and create. By doing so, you're going to be backpedaling. Your body shape is super important because you're ready to receive with that back foot and you're ready to go. Do not try and receive the ball on the front foot when you're running back to create that space. It's too late. So you have to look out for cues. Is my midfielder receiving from the opposite side, turning? Do they have space to turn? You can see if they have space to turn. And when they turn, am I making myself an available option? And the very last picture that I will show you guys is whipping in early crosses. So sometimes you do receive in these areas, you dribble inside, your fullback's making that overlapping run, creating a 2 versus 1 situation versus the fullback. And now you have two options. Do I slip my fullback through on the overlapping run? Is it on? Is it the best option in that moment? Do I cut inside and exploit this space inside? Should I whip in an early cross? Should I cut inside and shoot? There's so many possibilities that can happen. And you as a winger need to be aware of these moments. So if your fullback's making that overlapping run, I need to slow down my dribble so that they can get over and make it complicated for this defender. Again, we want to cause indecision in the fullbacks where they need to make a decision. Do I follow the overlapping run? Do I cover the player on the ball? Do I cover the space? And they don't know what to do. And you as a winger, since you're in possession of the ball, you have the ability to dictate those moments. These dribbles are not necessarily going to be full speed and go. It's going to be slow, 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 fast. So you got to be able to pick out those moments. As always, guys, I thank you so much for watching this winger video. I hope that you guys got a lot of value from this. And just remember, the most important thing for you as a winger is to create attacking moments. Can you create attacking moments when those moments arise? Do you have the confidence to keep going at that fullback? over and over and over? Can you pick and choose your moments? When to take players on, when to reset play, when to whip in an early cross. You as a winger need to identify those moments. What is a numerical situation out wide? Is it a 1v1? Is it a 2v1? Is it a 3v2 with an extra midfielder in there? If we can process that information quickly, our decisions are going to gradually get better and better. Because when we watch games from the outside, and I'm looking at wingers, I'm looking at the movement they're making, and I'm looking at the decisions they make, depending on what the situation is at hand. And yes, there will be moments when it's 3 versus just you, and you have the ability to beat them. By all means, do it. Create those moments. Don't be afraid. Be confident. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Until the next one.